What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and today, we don't pull players no more after 2 turnovers. We not pulling players after 2 turnovers anymore. That's not what we doing. We gotta start there, right? Carson Wentz, the beginning of the game, throws a pick immediately. 3 plays, and then the fourth thing was 3 plays, threw a pick. Then he comes back, throws another pick, and what? We not pulling players now after 2 turnovers. That's not what we doing. Okay. What? And for all you Wentz whiners, I want to hear from all of y'all. Said, you my man, you know I love you. You know I love you, Said. I better hear from you today. I better hear from you, because everybody has been talking about it, how Wentz gives us the best chance to win. And understand this, he comes in and basically loses us the game. 3 interceptions. 3. Heineke didn't get in the game at all. They wanted to pull Heineke, like I said, and here we go. When I sat up there and said, hey y'all, I think the coaches sabotaged this whole thing. I think they sabotaged it because they weren't expecting Taylor to play so well in the first half of that 49ers game. They were not expecting that. Soon as those 2 turnovers happened, they immediately took him out. But yet and still, Carson Wentz throws 2 early turnovers. You could have sat up there and actually put Heineke in the game, possibly giving yourself a chance to win the game, but yet no, you stuck with Carson Wentz. And what did Carson Wentz do? Throw the game. Ron Rivera needs to resign today. That is his fault. We lost that game because of Ron's stupid decisions. And here we are again talking about inconsistent stuff from Ron, inconsistent behavior from Ron Rivera over and over again. Here we are again. All y'all who was so caught up on this Wentz thing, I told y'all when we made the trade for him, it was the wrong guy. When Taylor was on the run, I kept saying, stick with the guy that's winning you games. Stick with this guy. Ron gave us inconsistent messaging even back then. Because if y'all remember back then, he said, I'm going to figure out who's going to be our guy, and he's going to start the rest of the season. Bam! Soon as Ron got the opportunity, he stood up there and gave us another inconsistent messaging. Benches Taylor Heineke. Wentz comes in, a game that should have been an easy game. And not only loses, but loses badly. 24-10. The Cleveland Browns, who are... And we can talk about offensive play calling. We can talk about defensive play calling. What was going? If y'all paid attention to that defense and that offense, the energy was not there. For some reason, that team that we saw out on that field was missing all its energy. And you know why? Because the energy was benched in favor of Carson Wentz. See, everybody thinks that when it comes to certain players, teams don't get the players don't know that. You can see that you can see in this game that all the players didn't agree with the move. Just like the fans didn't agree with the move. Well, I'm sorry. Some of us didn't agree with the move. And understand, I'm not a Heineke Hive person. My thing is stick with the guy that's winning. Just stick with him. And I told y'all, that last game was a sabotage game, and this game proved it. Carson Wentz has 2 interceptions early in the game, and he did not pull them. Taylor gets benched for a fumble that wasn't his fault. And then a interception where he was trying to anticipate Brian Robinson's route. Carson Wentz throws 2 clear interceptions. Clear that it was his fault. And then he throws a deep third one like a dummy. I hope everybody talks about how he missed open receivers. How everybody was so focused and all that type of stuff. I wonder how many turnover-worthy plays Carson Wentz has this game. I wonder when that stat is going to show his face. That stat ain't going to show up. You know why? Because Ron is going to try his best to bury that stat. Ron jacked up. This is why, from the onset when he was first hired, when Ron first got here, I told y'all his first press conference, his very first press conference, I told you this man has such inconsistent behavior that it makes no sense. He sat up there from his very first press conference, talked about he took the job because of this roster, and then immediately changed the roster. Immediately changed the roster. Gave Dwayne Haskins 4 games in a complicated offense. And we're all sitting here pretending like we don't understand what's happening right now. Ron needs to resign today. He needs to resign today. We basically are out of the playoffs. Why? Because of Ron's decisions and Carson Wentz's lack of being able to play. Guess what? Here's a second team Carson Wentz has found a way to not make it into the playoffs on because of his play. How many of y'all gonna remember that? Second team. Indianapolis gave up on him. I told y'all when we made the thing, somebody else's trash is now our trash. And here we are now. And I want to hear from all of you who were so on that Carson Wentz train. He gives us the best chance to win. His arm strength. Yes, we saw that arm strength. We saw it to the ring of 3 interceptions. Yes, he had amazing arm strength, especially when throwing it to another team. And let's talk about the defense. The defense the defense ain't getting off on this. Cleveland sat up there and couldn't really run the ball, started throwing the ball, and next thing you know, they ring it up like 3 touchdowns. Ring up 3 touchdowns like it was nothing. Not only that, guess what? Amari Cooper got open on practically the exact same play. They did that the first touchdown. That was the first time they ran that play. They run it again, and he has I think it was like another 3rd down conversion. Then they run it on the opposite side, and he gets another touchdown. The secondary was way off. You telling me Cam Curl matters that much? That we can't even have him not on the field for 2 games? Jonathan Allen goes down with some type of knee issue. And this team, Cleveland adjusted. Their coaching staff adjusted. And we watched and then y'all saw Daddy Ron when Carson Wentz gets the touchdown because he's 6'5" and jumps over the line. Yay! I'm so happy for my son. But he wasn't doing all that clapping when he threw the first 2 interceptions, and he dang well wasn't clapping when he threw the 3rd one. This is what I talk about, people. This is exactly what I talk about when it comes to Ron Rivera. When all y'all sitting up in here believing in him, and I'm telling y'all, look, these coaches are no good. They're not as good as you want them to be. Jack was doing a great job. At some point, I don't know what's going on with him at this point. These past 2 games, Jack has not been on his game. He must be back on Twitter. He must be back on Twitter. Because for some odd reason, he's not on his game. He has not been on his game these past 2 games. I don't know what's going on with Jack, but we got to check to see if he's back on Twitter. Because it made no sense. It makes no sense. This team was playing well. But again, maybe it's because your energy guy is sitting on the bench while your lumbering dumb butt is throwing interceptions. I could see, and this is what I'm talking about. For some reason, people got this idea that us as a fan base are not that intelligent, or like we don't know. A lot of us would do great if y'all gave us opportunities to be in the scouting departments and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of us that would have done far better than what he's doing. Ron sticking with Scott Turner. Scott Turner is he's a complete dumbass. Like, I mean, what? And understand this, we all of us can sit here right now, even those who were the Wentz whiners, even the Wentz whiners can all sit here and say, you know what, Taylor probably would have won the game. Taylor would have probably won this game. And see, this goes back to what I say all the time. Ron and his inconsistent messaging is what dooms this team over and over and over again. We knew Carson Wentz was going to lose. We knew that. We knew Carson Wentz wasn't the right guy. It don't matter how many plays they tried to call that was beneficial to him. He was going to throw the picks anyway. How the hell do you throw over a guy? I mean, you overthrow a guy on 3rd down and overthrow him by miles. And I told all of y'all this too. What was going to happen was that teams were going to focus on stopping the run, force Washington into passing, and then just go ahead and pin their ears back and rush Carson Wentz. We saw that with the 49ers. They did the exact same thing. How do you see your playoff hopes go up in smoke in one Sunday? Now we got to hope and pray that Green Bay don't win. Green Bay might be sitting up there saying, no, we gonna try it. Because not only that, guess what? Green Bay gets to see Detroit as the last game of the season. And there's a high chance that Green Bay can mess around and actually beat Detroit. And that would be the most demoralizing thing in the world. To see Green Bay look like trash, a team we dominated, mess around, leapfrogs us, and makes the playoffs. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine Green Bay coming down to the last game of the season, beating Detroit? Because I think it's Detroit that they play as the last game of the season. Beating Detroit and making the playoffs. Do y'all know if Green Bay wins, after this, if Green Bay wins, we're out of the playoffs. Out. Who do you fault for this? Y'all tell me in the comments. Who do you fault for this whole thing? Because at the end of the day, we're seeing a massive collapse. You telling me Carson Wentz basically had us out of playoff contention. Taylor Heineke comes in, puts us back in playoff contention, and then all of a sudden Ron makes the decision to take Taylor Heineke out, bring back Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz thanks Ron Rivera, and Ron Rivera thanks the fans by showing, hey, this is how you get eliminated from the playoffs. Y'all tell me what y'all think, because this is absolutely insane at how this team is so up and down. All this culture change, all this stuff that was meaning something, blah, 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 blah. We're actually better. And the whole time, your winning quarterback is sitting on the bench in a situation where you needed the game. You needed the game. And then on top again, like I'm gonna go back to it. So we not benching guys after two turnovers? 2 blatant turnovers. 2 absolutely blatant turnovers. We not benching guys now? That's not what we doing, Ron? Y'all tell me what y'all think. I want to hear from all you Wentz Wentz whiners. I want to hear from all of you who thought that Carson Wentz was the answer and thought that he gave us the best chance to win. I want to hear all of you, because you bet not come with any excuses, because y'all saw it just like we did. Y'all saw it. How many of y'all was sitting up there saying, you know what, let's bring Taylor in after his second interception? Y'all tell me what y'all think. Other than that, this has been your man, John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.